Hello everyone, this is the National Master Alessandro Santagati. Now we play a game on chess.com. 5 minutes is the time control against Haribo thread. So okay, e4 I play usually knight c6, and then Inzovich defense d4, d5. Attack immediately the center. Now the white can push or take it, or yeah, also it's still good they defend the e4. If I take on e4, the white will push the pawn on d5, because if the white will take on e4, I can take on d4, so it's wrong. Now e6. This is a not common variation of the French. Okay. Now it's very interesting. The black has a problem. Find a good development for his pieces. For example, if I play bishop e7, I don't have a good square for the knight after that. In this position, the knight can work well on f5 because the black idea is make pressure on d4. So now it's good knight e7 because I developed the knight first on f5, and after that I would move the bishop. Okay, queen g4. The queen is defending d4, is attacking d7, but this time is not so important this, so I don't like queen g4 immediately. Okay, I couldn't complete my development, so knight f5. Knight f3 to defend d4 is correct. Okay, now how many squares has the queen to defend d4? g4, f4, h4. No, h4 not, because my knight can cover h4. So only, yeah, only 2 squares. g4 I can attack it with h5, but if I move h5 now, queen can go on f4 and can defend the pawn. So it's not useful this time. Okay, so at this time I play simply bishop e7 and complete my development. Another idea good for black was knight b4 to attack c2, because c2 was without a defender. Yeah, probably I missed it. Okay, now h5, because when the queen go to f4, I could try g5, and it's interesting. Now then, bishop is covering hg5, so this push now is possible. Because yes, the white can take the pawn g, but I will take the pawn d, and I think it's more important. I trade. I take with the knight on f on d4, yeah, because the knight on c is good, I think. Yeah, okay. And now my threat is knight takes e5, rook g8. Oh. Okay, 4 is a defending. Okay, rook g8 with the simple idea knight takes e5, rook takes g5. Now I have to play with carefully because there is the threat bishop h7, so is not his at this position. Okay, now h4. Okay, this move is interesting. Okay, now I have to exploit this position now. The bishop on d3 is weak, 2 squares for him, and I can attack c2 at the same time. So knight b4 now is strong for me. And I have to remove one bishop because the 2 bishops are very dangerous in my king side. So yeah, I have to remove it now. So knight b4 I think is important for me. Okay, yeah, castle. The black. Okay, has to take. With the simple idea to put my knight on f5 now, because I go back with the knight, and I'm sure my position is good now. Okay, I have only a move, king d7 to protect c7. But after that, I can attack the knight with a6, or yeah, with a6 for example. So it's not so hard. I have to take space with a6, c5, because yeah, if I take space, my position, well, it's wrong. Okay, after that, my pawn is under attack. I have only a defender against two attackers. I can do c6 with the double idea, protect the pawn and attack the knight. So c6 is knight e6, I can take with the knight, so it's not a problem. Now the knight has to go back. Okay, this trade, maybe I'm forced to trade because I don't have other option. Or I can take the pawn first. For example, I take the pawn and after that I play king c7. But I have to think if it's good. If I take the pawn on c4, the white can't take because I take the rook, but can move the rook, and after that I'm forced to trade, and no, it's not so good. Okay, I have to trade and I close the file. Okay, king c7. I have to play quickly because this is a blitz game. Now my threat is c5 followed by d4. So okay, I can do that. c5 and d4. Or maybe it's better take it first, and after that threat is. My pawn on g4 is too dangerous. Okay, now the pawn h is dangerous. The simple idea is h6. Okay, so c5, back, d4. It's not easy because the pawn h is very dangerous. I have to play rook g6 when the pawn goes to h7. I have to defend in a light square, so I have to go with the rook on h7. Okay, yeah, rook h8 with a simple idea rook h7 to block this pawn, because if the pawn goes to h7, I can't stop it. Okay, now my next step would be c5 d4 if I can, but maybe now the white will take it. Okay, now c5 d4, I can give the pawn. My next step will be bishop d7, bishop c6, bishop e4 to cover the important diagonal h7 g h7 b1. Okay, bishop d7. The next will be bishop c6, bishop e4. I'm forced to do that. My position now is bad because the h pawn is very good. The white played well. The idea to sacrifice the pawn g to have the h pawn free is good in this position. I have to play quickly. I have 39 seconds, so okay, bishop e4. Okay, rook g8. For me, it's okay. Block the position. For me, it's okay. I draw now. My position is not good. Okay. My idea now is king c6, a6, b5. I try counter-attack in the queen side. If the rook go away from the g5, I can sacrifice a rook for the bishop and pawn. So okay, b4. Okay, I play b6 to defend my pawn on c5. But I will take with the king if the white takes. So yeah, I can also push the other. Yeah, maybe I could play b5. Okay, I try b5. His idea is I don't know, f5 is not possible because there is my bishop. My bishop on e4 is strong because it's blocking c2, it's covering a lot of squares. So okay, take with the king. The king is a strong piece now. So my threat is c4, so the white has to take my pawn. Okay, I take it, and now is still dangerous. Okay, take it. Oh, I have 11 seconds, so it's very hard. 8 seconds. Hard, hard. No, I made a mistake with the rook. I would play rook c2 check, but okay, I might think the game is lost. Okay, we can try with another game. The first was the fifth. So, okay. Mm, okay, doesn't want the rematch, so can try to find a new opponent, just not con. Usually we need a few seconds. Okay, yeah, we have new one. Oh, the same. Now with white e4. Okay, we try d4, a nice gambit. Knight f3 before I attack it. Usually now the black defend with knight c6. Okay, and now I give the pawn with c3. I can retake the pawn immediately, but I prefer give the pawn to play in this way. The black chooses to refuse the sacrifice with d5, so I to take on d5. Queen takes, c takes d4. Probably bishop g4 to make pressure against the knight. Oh, bishop b4 check. I cover with a knight. Bishop e2. Okay, black follows the main variation, so bishop takes and queen c4. Okay, now there is a very interesting move for white, is queen b3. Now it's not possible for black take on d4, the pawn is poisoned. So now the black has to trade. The white has a bad pawn structure, but a good activity with the pieces. The black can take on d4, but I can take on b7, so it's good. Okay, if rook b8, I can simply play rook takes a7, and if bishop c5, rook a8, and that's not the problem. Knight e7, the simple idea is castle the next move. I can play castle or bishop e3. Oh, I think castle is good. Or knight e5, no, okay, yeah, castle with the idea knight e5 better. If bishop c5, I can play rook a8, so if castle, I can play knight on d5. Okay, knight e5, I think is good. Because I have to remove my bishop from b7, and it's important this trade because I have few squares in this diagonal for my bishop. The only way to have new squares is propose this trade. For this reason I play knight e5. Knight on c6. Yeah. Okay, I can take it and take on c7, so it's okay for me now. Because yeah, I love this trade, but I take the pawn c7, so it's very good for me. I play an endgame with the pawn up, so I'm very happy to play this now. Okay, the knight is under attack, and the bishop is under attack. And, for me, it's very important to take this bishop because without the bishop, my endgame is particularly good. Okay, if I play rook c4, there is knight e2 check, so the black can save the knight. Yeah. I can't take a tempo now. Bishop f4 is not possible. Knight e7 check is not possible. Yeah, I think I have to trade on before. I have to trade on before. I have to trade on before. Rook b1 is not useful because knight e2, king f1, and knight takes e1. So yeah, I can simply take the bishop. Okay, now rook d1 is okay because it's true that the black can trade his knight for the bishop, but I will play an endgame with the pawn up, so I can also play in this way. If knight takes b3 is good, I would play bishop e3, and after that for me it's better because the knight has no squares, so knight takes b3 is good for me. I think the best way for black is knight e2 check to take the bishop. Try to draw an endgame with the pawn down. Okay, knight b4, bishop e3. I block the knight. I dominate it now, so now to play with the king after that. So my idea should be king f1, king e2. Okay, another idea could be rook d7. So okay, king f1 this time. Okay, rook b5. I have to improve my position. This move don't allow knight c5. Maybe can allow knight a5 now. So okay, play rook d7 with the simple idea that if the black will move the knight, I can simply play bishop c5, and after that, yeah, I can play b4. Okay, it seems good. There is a simple threat against f7, and my threat is c5, so the black need to cover this square with a knight. So the knight seems still blocked. And another idea is rook b7, because after this trade, for example, the knight has only a1 or a5. Okay. Rook f5. Okay, the black tried to defend with the rook, the square f7, to move the other rook, but I won't attack the rook now with g4, because after that I don't find. Okay, rook f6, but this move is important for me because the rook on f5 is defending c5, so it allows knight c5. Now I can play rook b7, and the knight has worst square now probably, or let me think, because knight a5. Okay, if I play rook b7, there is knight a5, and the knight can go after that on c6. So the problem is, can I avoid knight a5 first? For example, rook a7, and the other rook on b7. It seems interesting. We can think about that. We have few time that. Okay, so okay, this time king e2. I play with the king to support my b pawn. Okay, now rook a8. The simple idea is rook a2. Okay, now rook a7. I trade the pieces because I think this endgame is good without a rook. I can play king d3, king c4. I can attack the knight with the king now. The knight is completely blocked now, so if I play king d3, um, followed by king c4, the knight has no squares. Okay, this check is interesting. Now is important. Can I play king c4? Is there a discord attack? I think not. So I can do that. Yeah. I have 44 seconds. Sorry, 24 seconds. So I have to play quickly. Okay. My king forward to out my pawn. So b4. After king rook d7 to play with the king in the a file. King a5 with the d5 b6. b5 now. Check king b6. King a6 with rook b2. Okay, I will play now. I have 2 seconds, so I have to play quickly. Okay, this trade is correct. I will push. Okay, yeah. I have to play quickly. I have 2 seconds. I'm trying to win for time because I have 1 seconds. Okay, I won the game with the pre-moves that. Yeah, for I have 1 second and yeah, okay, I won. I tried to play another game, the rematch. We are okay. Mm, okay, now d4. Now I try knight f6. Bishop g5. Knight d4. Okay, so usually when the bishop of the queen side in the king side, my main idea is attack the pawn b2. For this reason, I start my plan with c5. I make pressure against d4 with the simple idea to bring my queen on b6. Okay, so after that, my knight is under attack. So this move is dangerous. I can play knight e6, knight f6. I don't know the fury now, so I would try knight d6 with the idea knight f5 in the future, and if d takes e5, I can play queen f5 check, and I can retake my pawn. I think. Okay, the queen is under attack, so I think it's better to go back on a5. I pin the knight, and it's a free square for my queen. The white as a threat can attack my knight with e5? No, because the queen is covering e5. I have to develop my dark bishop first, so I think g6 is correct. Maybe there is a problem after g6. The white can play queen d4. It's dangerous because the queen is attacking my rook, and I don't have good moves to play. Probably it's better first develop the knight on c6. So I'll take the square d4. Okay, after bishop d3, now I don't have this problem. The bishop is covering the queen, so the white can't attack from the square d4, so I can play g6. Bishop g7. Okay, castle. Okay, f4. The white is looking to play f5 or e5. If e5, where the knight can go, f5 is not so good. Yeah, e5 is dangerous now because I don't have good squares for my knight, but I can play. Okay, I have two problems: the knight with e5 and the bishop. So I play now b6 with the idea to have the square b7 for the knight, and also to have a good square for the bishop in the future, because now I can play knight b7, knight on c5. It's I think it's good for me. Knight c5. I have to play with carefully because the queen is the white can have the idea to trap my queen, so I have to play with carefully now. Yeah, for example, knight b5. But it's not threatening this. Bishop e1 is the threat, but if bishop e1 I have queen a4. Okay, let me think. Bishop e1, queen a4. So maybe I can save my queen. Seems right. Queen a4, knight c3. Well, probably I can do that. I have not much time to think. Let me think. Knight c5. Yeah, I think I can do that. Queen a4. b3. Now my queen has some problem because it's under attack. Not good square here. Queen a6 is forced. Knight c7, queen b7. Yeah, no other ways. The white played well. queen c7, queen d7. Sorry, knight c7, queen d7. So okay. Okay, now my compensation is my pawn in the light diagonal. So it's very important for me to remove this bishop, because when I take the knight, I have to play to have compensation in the diagonal h1, a8. So now I will play bishop b7 to have a good activity in this diagonal. Or d6 first. Yeah, to think about that. Okay, I can play d6 or bishop b7. I think bishop b7 is good. I give the pawn d7, but there is rook d8. I take a good development after that. For example, queen takes, rook d8, queen go away. Or let me think. This move is dangerous. 6. Okay, I can play d6. Yeah, the pawn e7 is defended by my knight. Now I make a good pressure against the pawn e5. My simple thread, e takes e5. I take it. If knight takes e7, king h8. And after that, I'm threatening g2. Okay, I'm threatening g2 now. And the queen at the same time. Okay, now the queen is threatening my knight. But I can play rook e8 maybe. I won't stay with my dark bishop now, so I prefer play f6. I think the dark bishop is important for me. If her takes, queen takes, and the knight has no squares. Okay, the knight has no few squares, only d5 now for the pawn. Okay, I can play queen d8. I will take a pawn maybe. Maybe. Okay, I take with the pawn. 95, I will check on c5. Okay, so bishop takes, followed by queen c5 check. And now queen takes d5. There is a problem. If I take on d5, there is rook d1. Very dangerous. So rook d1, queen a8. I can cover d8. I can cover d8, but it seems very dangerous. I have 11 seconds, so I have to play very, very quickly. King g7, king h6, maybe. Oh, it's very, very hard. I have to trade. I have to help blind pawn with the king. I have to play with the king. If check, king f6, I will push the pawn. I will push again. No, I have no seconds. No, okay, I lost. I lost for time. Yeah. Okay, this game was interesting. Yeah, I think maybe now the white is winning. I can take h4. Yeah, but probably it's very interesting this one game because after queen takes, bishop takes, it's not so easy when there's rook d7. King f6 is correct. I push it. Rook a1. The problem is if I push and if I play bishop e7, so bishop e7 to cover, the king can go on b1 or g1. So I play this. Now I made a mistake. I win. I push the pawn to check, and yeah, I win. Yeah, I play this check, and after that the king has to go back. Oh no, I'm sorry. Yeah, no, because I can't cover with the bishop. So I need probably king f5 is wrong because I allow king g1. Maybe I have to play h5 first, but yeah, maybe in general this game is won for white, but it's not so easy. Okay, thank you to